creatures, domesticated animals, and Homo sapiens. Good day to you. Hello. We're continuing on with the fourth. This could be the final of this incredible chapter. 16, really. And we left off with these three spirits. And I've shared with you the Jerome and the other ancients have written that when John writes, he saw from the mouth of the dragon, from the mouth of the beast, from the mouth of the false prophet, three unclean spirits. But the ancients write that the dragon is the devil, the beast or Antichrist, or the society that he's a set of, that he's a part, that he's a chief head of, not part of, are also synonymous, interchangeable, so to speak. But if you go along with the minions, as I like to, because he's going to have his chieftains, it's kind of like developing a vaccine. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are, I guess, are against vaccines, what have you, but understand the basic difference between vaccines of days lore and now. When vaccines were first developed, like chickenpox, measles, it was taken from a biological sample. In other words, one who was infected was scraped off the infected cells of the epidermis, and that was applied into either into a solution or directly into a little cut made into the epidermis to begin infecting the body on a smaller scale, so that the body itself would become immune. Very efficacious. Oh, it took the world by storm. Lives were being saved at the turn of the 1800s to the 1900s. The difference today is that has been transferred, like these demons. They're more. It's even more drained. Another factory. They've been transferred to a laboratory. Hence, they're made by man chemically. So instead of taking this natural infection that's developed biologically and develop an antidote, it's now racing in the laboratories to try to develop one chemically. And these are the dangers that you're up against. Like you're up against these dangers against the dragon and his multiple heads. Because it's no longer just a biological sampling when it's chemically created. So many other things are installed during the process. And this is the thing with medications. Children, remember this. Any man-made medication injected or consumed into your body is going to cause an effect, period. It will cause an effect. Any man-made medication. This is what happens with medications. Your body starts adjusting, but it turns against itself in a lot of ways to make up for what the medication is hiding or masking. Like narcotics, for example, is a perfect example. John continues there, the spirits of the devil's working signs, and they go forth to the kings, the whole earth. Why? Getting ready for the great battle with Jesus. He needs as many hands on his side as possible. And the place that they're all going to be gathered, John calls Armageddon. Armageddon. Now there's a book, St. Heron's book. I haven't read it. It's called The Bill of Thieves, but it reveals his interpretation of "Behold, I come as a thief," which is actually written here. They are the spirits of the devil's working signs, and they go forth to the kings of the whole earth to gather them into battle at the great day of the omnipotent God. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, that he walk not naked, and they see his turpitude. He shall gather them into a place which in Hebrew is called Armagedon. Even when you're not least expecting it. Things are going so well. You're following with this Antichrist. He's made you so rich. Your family's got property everywhere. Everything's well. This is when he comes. This is when he's telling you. This is all false. It's placebo. And Jesus will deflate these idiotic balloons. The seventh angel comes, pours his vial in the air. Then John says he hears this booming voice from that temple. Remember, the temple it's all fogged out, clouded out, no man can enter it. Until the 7 plagues, the voice from that temple says, it is done. Synonymous with the parallels that happen with Jesus, it is done. Then from that point, lightnings and voices and thunders and a great earthquake shook the earth that the men on the planet never, ever will experience such a trembling so great. And the great city was made into 3 parts, and the cities of the Gentiles fell. Babylon the Great came into memory before God to give her the cup of wine of the indignation of his wrath. Every island fled and mountains were not found, and a great hail like a talent came down from heaven upon men. Man blasphemed God for the plague of the hail because it was made so great. Wow. The city or the commonwealth of the wicked be divided into 3 parts. What does that mean? Here's an interpretation. Now, the city here is called Babylon, as I just identified. But this isn't my interpretation, but I'm in agreement with this. 3 parts. Infidels, number 1. Number 2, heretics, ever since the Old Testament, both of these. And number 3, evil Catholics, which goes along the same thing with evil Hebrews in the before Christ. It's now become, from then it became evil Christians, and then when Christians became synonymous with all these different interpretations of what Jesus meant, it became Catholics. And again, the term Catholic, don't be offended by it or it's turned off, oh, Catholic. It means universal, for all, because it is for all. I would write that in emails when I was still correspondence with people. Say about his church. This is your church too. So many people get turned off by that, but it is. It actually is. Even though you're a Mormon or a Lutheran, you can't help it. You've been misled, but so that's an example. And now we've reached the end of this incredible book, epistle, chapter, and we will begin a new one, the 17th chapter next. When we meet, I hope you've learned something. If you're not listening to us, at least let your creatures. We seem to forget about Elohim's creatures, but we haven't. So help them out. Let them hear this. Till next we meet, Pax Vobis.